Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody had a good Monday. Hope everybody had a wonderful Easter, right? Nice long 3-day weekend for all you guys who are celebrating Easter, right? For all you guys who celebrated Passover before. Hope everybody is doing well. Guys, kindly do me a favor. If you like the content and you are an avid viewer, all I ask is take a moment out, click a like on the video, share, subscribe. And again, hopefully I will continue to provide value. So here we are, right? Somebody asked me today, if you watched the weekend video, we kind of heard my thoughts. It's very, very hard if you're an investor to get excited. It really is. There's nothing about this tape that is very, very exciting. Matter of fact, we spoke about it today in the webinar, Morning Strategy. If you think about the updates, right? If you think about the updates over the last several weeks, they've been outlier events, right? You had your fake news that turned into real news. First 90-day tariff ease that turned into good news the next couple of days after. But if you look at every single other day, it's just selling. And somebody asked today, well, what's the reason for the selling for today? Guys, it's China. That's literally all it is. This market, I mean, we can make this video day in, day out, tomorrow, next week, next Thursday. The point is, and the market is waiting for a China deal, right? We spoke about this probably in the last 200 videos, but that is the reality. For every single day that goes by that there is no China deal, they're going to keep on selling securities. It's just obvious. It's just every single day. Can you get a dead cat bounce at some point? Sure, absolutely. Again, like I said, markets don't go straight down no matter how bad they are. But the reality is, until you wake up with that headline that China and the United States strike a deal to ease tariffs, remove tariffs, or a combination of three, you're going to continue to sell. You're going to continue to drift because, again, that is our reality. And the problem is you're seeing traders all over the place, right? Continuously treat this like it's a bull market, right? Keep on buying. Eventually, you are going to hit the bottom. I don't know what that bottom is, what that bottom looks like, right? But eventually, you are going to hit something, right? Concrete. Eventually, it's going to hit. Maybe it's going to be in this lifetime, hopefully not the next, but eventually you hit. But I just can't fathom the idea. Keep on throwing good money after bad. And your process, right? Or your process where you're thinking is, well, I know a deal is right around the corner. That right around the corner could deplete your portfolio by 80% by the time it's all said and done. And the wild part about it is, again, I voted for Trump, right? I'm a Republican. I vote Republican down the road. But at some point, the guy comes out every single day and says, we're winning. Okay, if this is winning, I don't know what losing is, right? So there's an issue, right? There's an underlying issue. The market is waiting for this, magical deal to be struck, whether it gets struck in the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, or never, right? We don't know. That's the whole point. And just sitting there throwing good money after bad and randomly on up days thinking that's the bottom, that's a really, really odd choice to kind of navigate your career. I think in the last couple of days, we kind of nailed it on the head. We really did. Instead of selling weakness, we've been selling into supply. Today was an absolute textbook day of stocks selling into supply after like miniature rallies into the 5-minute and then later in the afternoon into the 60-minute supply. That's where stocks are getting rejected. And for all you guys who've watched the PS60 workshops, I don't believe the rejection theory is in there. It's something we started really doing about 2-3 years ago. So I think I have to eventually at one point have to re-record the PS60 Workshop Part 3, but again, who the hell has time? But, it's something that we've been really, really focused on, especially in the last 2, 3 days. It's just an easier way to digest the volatility by knowing where the supply is about to hit, and that's where you are selling or short selling your securities. Again, if you look at the final numbers today, again, it's not great. You have more uncertainty. You have the narrative that Trump wants to get rid of Powell at all costs. Right, that is providing more uncertainty on top of the trade wars, on top of the Ukraine-Russia war. There's so much going on, and it's very, very tough to get excited, at least from the investment point of view. And again, you look at the final numbers, and this is despite kind of a little bit of a rally into the close. The Dow was down 971 points, 2.5%. Basically, you had 2.5% losses all across the board. The Dow, S&P, and the Nasdaq, and kind of what we talked about over the weekend, right? You had Netflix have a really nice quarter. I mean, really, really nice quarter. And it was still up on the day. But the point is, and this is kind of my point over the weekend, usually when you have one beta name have really great earnings, they all would explode, right? At one point, Netflix was, got down to almost like only up like 2-3 points before it started rallying again. So lack of enthusiasm. Lack of enthusiasm. That is the name of the game. Even if there is a China deal done, and again, I'm hoping there is just less things to think about. I don't even know if this is going to be like one of those deciding factors. Well, here's the deal. Here's the bottom. Now we're off and running. Again, remember, the market was already selling off since the 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average we lost in February. Guys, we're almost in May. Okay, so this is a far cry from one individual event that is going to solve all the problems. Again, is there a potential earnings season is so awesome, godlike reports all across the board that's going to save this tape regardless of a China deal? Okay. Right. Okay. I mean, there's something you have to hold on to. There's something you have to have a hope and faith in. All right, we'll see. Right. Tomorrow you got Tesla, something that I'm very, very interested in. Tesla delayed their cheaper model production by a couple of months. I'm guessing that they want to see exactly what happens with China. Again, is there any enthusiasm going into Tesla's quarter? Right. Again, where's this enthusiasm? All I know is I am watching this bottom channels. If they miss their earnings or their reaction is to be sold, not told, then I'm definitely watching the bottom channel here. Today, we'll get to the pivots in a second. Stocks got slammed today, right? Absolutely slammed today. You had Tesla a day before earnings getting slammed. The big buyers came in that is going to cover its earnings report for tomorrow for the 200 and 190 weeklies. Amazon today gets a downgrade, right? Gets a downgrade. We saw today a really good amount between 165 and 160 weeklies coming in on Amazon, right? And again, nothing great here. You have NVIDIA, right? Had some news this morning. Who the hell even remembers what it is? They were pounding this thing. If you guys remember up here, they were pounding the 108s, 105s. They knew something was happening, right? That was that big write-down of $5.5 billion. Over the weekend, we talked about they were coming for the hundreds, the 98s, the 95s, right? They were pounding the 95s today. But after the 95s, and that's the low of the day, they were pounding the 90s. We saw some 90s. We saw some 85s, for God's sake. So again, very, very, very pessimistic view, especially from an institutional money flow community, because I don't remember the last time, not 2 Wednesdays ago, when we had that 2,000-point rally, that we had a violent day in the options market that they're betting deep out of the money calls. I don't remember. If you can tell me what day this was, I don't remember. Because again, it's just not happening. And now we have given back. If you look at the QQQs, now we've given back more than half this bar, right? More than half this bar. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, you could always have a dead cat bounce that's always on the table. But the moral of the story is you want to short that dead cat bounce into daily supply, right? Into daily supply. Always remember, there's no possible way a stock can go higher if it doesn't take out the previous day's highs and build above it. So if your stock tomorrow is putting in a lower high, into daily supply, and you really have to know where your levels are. That's a great area to strike up a short in case they start pulling the market later. So, pretty solid action today. Again, everything was just murdered. If you had 97.67 was the pre-market lows on Nvidia. Gets below, it should sell. There was a natural pivot there that went all the way down to 95. There were several rejections that worked really, really well as well. So great job on NVIDIA. AMD finally got below the $85 level, held twice. Not a huge move, only went down to like 83.75. But we did see some 84s, some 83s start hitting the tape for the weekly expiration. ARM, got hit as well, went down like $2-3, 97.89. If it builds below, can flush. Again, it doesn't make a difference what technology name it is. They're all, once they lose their range, they're all going to get hit. You have Amazon got smoked today, 168.80. If it confirms, can bring in more selling. Got downgraded this morning. Amazon went down to like 65. Got absolutely smashed. And Tesla, here is the pre-market lows, 230.66. If it builds below, can flush. Tesla went all the way down to 322. So the moral of the story is, can Tesla save the market? I doubt it. Can anything outside of a China deal really save the market? I really, really doubt it. I think at some point, cooler heads need to prevail. Okay, that's the bottom line. The cooler heads need to prevail. They need to sit down. They need to work things out because, again, I don't care how much of a bravado you have. I don't care how much of an ego you have. You're hurting people, right? Government is hurting people. Okay, you can't tell us we're winning if the market is imploding, right? 401ks, retirement plans, IRAs, your personal, again, how are you winning? Maybe the long term, right? 10, 15, 20 years. If you're 50, 60, 70 years old, you can't wait 30 years for your portfolio to recover. So again, hopefully the market, hopefully the people in charge of their governments sit down, put their egos to the side, and get a deal done. At least we have then a conversational piece that we can have a reference point from the low of that day to work our way around. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow, Tesla. Then we got, in middle of the week, we got some other names, but earnings season is here. The reaction so far is muted. Market continues to sell. Is this going to be a longer lasting effect? We shall see, said the blind man. We shall see. Guys, God bless. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow.